Hey there, Lon Kiefer here, also known, well, I don't know if I'm known as, but I refer to myself as the retired comic. And we're just leaving the shed quarters here. It's hot out, been starting to sweat, so I want to get this video in before I really turn into a sweaty mess. So I got my Comedy is the Remedy shirt on, and today I want to talk to you about something that is near and dear to me. I don't refer to myself as a YouTuber, but I love YouTube, and I clearly have a YouTube channel. But it's not my life. I'm on YouTube more to gain perspective than to offer it, yet here I am offering it. There's a couple of YouTubers that I've started watching and enjoy. They refer to themselves as minimalists. They're people that retired as early as they could and just gave up things that weren't important to them and decided to live free without stress. And they might be doing it in a camper, they might be doing it in a large house that they each are sharing expenses. Either way, they refer to themselves as minimalists. And I don't know that I'm willing to live as a minimalist, but I am willing to live as a humorist. And I think it's the same message, except that what a humorist gives up is things that cause them stress and continues to receive income as they work or live their lives, the next phase of their lives. It's not an all or nothing proposition. So let me get into this and explain what I mean. So retirement, I'm a man of a certain age. I'm a plusser. I'm a 55 plusser. Whoa, I almost walked into this. Can you see this? This spider web? That was almost a face plant on into that. So I'm a 55 plusser. I'm a +6 actually. And at that age, you know, I could take Social Security at 62. It's right around the corner. And I can't believe how many people are suggesting that I do that. People like I have friends that are that age and have made that decision, and they all want to invite me into the club. But what I've noticed with a lot of them is the reason that they're doing it is because they're bored. They don't have anything to do. Or others, they're really out there living it, and I am very happy for them. But I'm not willing to live as a minimalist. I don't want to give up everything. I'd rather just give up the stress and pressure by living as a humorist and let humor work. Remember, I talk about humor is a healthy understanding of moments others reject or others recognize. Now, when it comes to the rejecting of humor, you might be the one doing it. I might be the one doing it. If you're not having fun at what you're doing, if you don't believe in the people, the process, and the product of what you do for a living, if you can't change your work, maybe it's time to change your work. Maybe it's time to get out of that and find an environment that you believe in more, that you enjoy more. Give up the stress, but not the income. Maybe drop your income. Here's why. I'm not going to talk about Social Security because I'm not an expert in that. And these numbers are just for example. This is not advice. But let's just say you take Social Security at 62 and you're going to get $2,000 a month. Okay, so 2,000 times 12, $24,000 a year. I can do that math. Then I think you're allowed to make up to $2,000 before you start getting some penalties. So 2,000, 22,000, let's just round it off. No, I can do that math. 24 plus 22. What am I doing here? Yeah. So now you're at $46,000, but you're working. So retired didn't become fun and relaxation. It became tired again. What you've done is you've reworked. You've changed what you were doing for something new that you're doing now. And you can do that and make more than that $46,000 if you find a way to do something that's more meaningful to you. Remember, the word retired literally means ceased to work, secluded, and not seen. I don't want that for myself, but I also don't want to have to live in a trailer just to get by. I do like spending time in the RV, and It's like my happy place, but I don't think it would be if I had to live there. So what we're talking about is how to let humor work in your life and become a humorist rather than a minimalist. I'm going to take a minute here to stop walking because I'm getting out of breath. So let me give you a couple examples of how I was able to let humor work in my life and career. I reworked several times. If I was in an environment where I wasn't happy and I tried to change it and I couldn't, then I made changes. If you can't change your work, change your work. I took pay cuts several times, and I didn't view any of these things as a failure. I viewed them as a continuation of a journey. And there was one example, and this happened, I left shortly after of my own accord, but this is what happened. So I was working in an organization that I believed in very much, but for a person that I didn't believe in and didn't like and didn't respect the way this person was leading his or her life. And I was asked to deliver a proposal. So this is like a Monday morning kind of meeting. And it was like, Lon, I need you to deliver this proposal by Friday. And I needed to have this, and this in it. And my reaction was, yeah, that's a very important proposal. We really need to put some time and effort into that. How about I give you the proposal tomorrow? And the response was, there's no way in hell that you can do a good job of that and deliver it tomorrow. My response was, yeah, and there's no way in hell I can do a good job of it and deliver it to you on Friday. So I'd rather just give it to you tomorrow so that we can get that nonsense out of the way and be productive the rest of the week. I survived that conversation, but that was an indication to me that, it was time. It was time. So I reworked in that situation, and I found a career avenue trajectory that was much better fit for me. And I went on within a year and a half of leaving to making more money and being happier. And there were other changes in my career, but the point is I let go of what was not bringing me joy and kept the option open to continue to make a living and make an income, but to let humor work in my life. One of the traps that has come into my life and career and relationships with others by embracing let humor work is I convinced myself that, and I started saying things like, I don't care. And what I meant was, it doesn't matter. In other words, this is a message of acceptance. The word acceptance, some people think, is to give up. I just accept it, like to lay down your sword and shield. And what acceptance really means is to receive and undertake something or an information or a change. It doesn't mean to just roll over. It means that, well, I can't really control what's coming my way. I can only control how I respond to it, how I accept it. But what I found myself saying sometimes was, I don't care. And that was, and I don't honestly have a better way of saying it, but I do have relationships to the people that have heard me say that, or might be in a position with me where they understand what I mean by that. Hey, we're here to support each other and support the cause, but we can't always control our outcomes. So let's not let the outcomes affect us to the point where it influences how we act and behave going forward. So, an example, this literally just happened in the last 2 days. An example of how you can let humor work and just accept things and respond to it is, because of a confusion in billing, I got a letter, a threatening letter. It wasn't really a threat as much as it was an invitation to get involved. But as I've been very clear about this, I'm overweight. I had sleep apnea as a result. That led to AFib. So I have a CPAP. You might be able to see my CPAP marks still. And I've had my AFib addressed twice. Once it was a cardioversion, just a shock. And once it was an ablation, where they go in there and they take care of some of the heart muscle. And even though I'm out of breath now because I'm walking and talking, I'm so much more relaxed. I breathe better. Fantastic. It's worth $1 million. Turns out it was worth $99,898.68. Because this letter I got basically said your insurance company hasn't paid for this bill yet, therefore you're responsible for $99,898.68. So here's what I did. I called them and I said, hey, can you help me on this? There's no way I can write you a check for $99,898.68. So I'm wondering, can I just write it for $100,000? Because I can write that check. Now you can't cash that check, but I can at least write that check. And she laughed, and we were able to come up with a plan and figure out what the next steps were. Whereas if I had called and said, are you crazy? You're sending me this bill. What do you think? I have insurance. Go figure it out. It's not my problem. I got lucky that it just seemed, I literally looked at that amount and I said, how in the heck do you write a check for $99,898.68? And I accepted that. And I moved forward, let humor work, and it was much better than calling and arguing. I don't think Chance likes me walking around talking. So I'll give you another example of acceptance and letting humor work. Had a dear friend that we had been together in a couple of social situations in like a 2-week span. And I noticed that after she had a couple of glasses of wine, she'd become tearful and kind of withdraw from time to time. So I guess, I don't know whether this is an intervention or what, but when I saw her, not at the time that it was occurring, or at a time where we'd had any wine or anything else, and I said, hey, I noticed this, that you became tearful, and what's going on? Can I help? And she said to me that she'd recently met some people that are really cool and had been enjoying spending time with them, and they're kind of like survivalist type of people, and they're really cool. They can adapt to any situation, and it's coming. It's coming. The Armageddon's coming. There's this. They're gonna get us, and we got to be ready. And I'm really worried that something major is going to happen, and we'll never get to see each other again. My response was, I can accept that. And I wasn't trying to be a jerk, but I can accept that. I mean, let it go. You can choose to do some of the things these people are suggesting that you do. You can, have an emergency plan in your household. You can, make sure your gas tank is always full. You can, have some meals ready to eat. Whatever those folks do, you can prepare. But then you got to let it go. You can't let it influence your life. You can't let it hang over you to the point where, now I think there might have been something else going on, and that's what I said. I said, this does not seem like a reasonable reaction to the information you're being given. So maybe look at that. Maybe spend less time with people that are giving you a message that is harming you. If you can't change your friends, change your friends. I don't know, but from my perspective outside looking in, it didn't look realistic. But because I was able to say I can accept that, she actually laughed. And there's risks here. And I want you to know, I'm not trying, like comedy, I'm trying to be funny when I'm on stage. But in life, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be light and open and honest and genuine. So that's enough of my effort to talk about how to avoid retiring and just, retired becomes tired again. Instead, view it as reworked. Keep things that, get rid of things that cause you stress and anxiety, but keep a purpose. And if you don't have one ready to go, for me, I think I know what I want to do in retirement. I want to serve others. Hawaii, these fires, oh my word, I can't jump in the van and go to Hawaii. I have made some contributions, but I'd like to be able to jump in the van and go places like this. I want to let humor work in a serious way, but I don't want to be a minimalist. I don't want retirement to become where I cease to work and I become secluded or not seen. That's kind of all or nothing thinking, which is a a cognitive distortion. Like, just because people are inviting you because you're a man of a certain age telling you it's time to change, doesn't mean it's time to change. But if you want to change by all means. Be a humorist or a minimalist, but have joy in your heart as you do it. So if you like these videos, that's another thing, is I practice what I preach. I've done a lot of other videos that were edited and spliced and all this stuff, and I enjoyed that, but it was becoming work, and the message was getting lost. So I let go of that side of it. I do have a few more coming because the circumstances called for it, but I let go of that, and I embraced what I enjoy about this process, and I hope you're enjoying it too. And if you are, consider sharing this video, liking it, subscribe, and come back again. But either way, enjoy the journey and let humor work.